just getting underway, but as a player, RJ, how valuable is it to get things started the right way?
It is so valuable because, as coaches say, plays that often start bad, end bad. And it's the same thing with seasons. If seasons start bad, there's a higher probability of them ending bad. So you want to get off to a good start. You want to show up ready to go.
And the starting lineup for the Timberwolves. Underneath in the post, Towns and Gobert. Sliding in at the wing, it'll be Edwards and McDaniel. And it's Russell in at the point guard position. Back to Vassell. Johnson surveying the floor. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And the shot is good.
Strong finish by Johnson. He's not a small wing. He's a solid 220.
And guys, Keldon Johnson has continued to perfect his craft.
A very flexible forward, scoring the ball better than he ever has. And that growing confidence you can see. He can spot up or shoot or slash his way to the rim.
And Greg, Keldon Johnson is listed at 6'5", but he plays much bigger than that.
He has the strength to fight for rebounds with anybody. Fearless on the court and plays with an endless motor. His strength and willingness to use it makes him valuable.
Here's Towns, played in with a nice touch off the glass.
And proving to be a prolific scorer from anywhere on the floor. That's a gimme for Towns.
And that outstanding drive and finish brought to you by Mobile One.
Nice take. Staying aggressive with this game, still very much up in the air.
Birtle sets the pick for Jones. Johnson outside. Lets it go from deep. Rebounded by the Timberwolves. Just over a minute and a half played here in this one. Rebound by Sohan. And it's Jones with the ball for the San Antonio Spurs. Vassell, no good. Russell against Jones. Russell dishes to Gobert. Outside Edwards. And finished off by Edwards.
Man, what a creative finisher. Edwards is so fast in how he gets up to throw it down.
Awesome rewind courtesy of the AT&T 5G Slam Cam. High post Johnson working on McDaniels. Hurdle with a screen on Russell. Jones drives in. And it's good with time running down on the shot clock.
Yeah, going hard to the rack, making a statement here early on.
Yeah, it's nice to see him be assertive instead of settling for a jump shot, especially in the first quarter.
Here's Towns. 2 points. That one goes.
Yeah, another nice bucket down low. They've really been able to work the ball into the post effectively here so far.
Passes it to Birtle. He dishes it to Johnson. And stolen by Russell. And now Minnesota on the fast break. No one near Edwards as he lets it fly. Good, and it's Russell picking up the assist. Edwards got 5.
And this is big for Edwards' confidence, wanting to keep hitting from downtown and stretching that defense.
Gobert against Birtle. Can't cash in from close range. And it's Russell with the ball. He'll bring it up for the Timberwolves. They lead by 4. And Birtle sends it back. Towns down low. And then Karl Anthony Towns with the jam.
And you see Big Cat has the size and coordination. Hard to bump him out of his rhythm.
And after a 2-decade-plus playoff streak, the Spurs have been in the lottery the last 3 seasons, and they're focused more on youth and development.
And San Antonio calls the first time out of the game. fresh 5 on the floor. Anderson, he's checked in for Minnesota. Austin Rivers comes in for Russell. That's tipped, and it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Towns. Richard, the Spurs, with one of the youngest rosters in the league, some quality young talent that they're very excited about.
And also acquiring draft capital. And they have a history of finding some great players outside the lottery, like Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili.
You're right, they've always done it.
Yeah, you got to when you're a small market. Got to invest in development.
And so far, having trouble converting on the inside.
Rivers passes to Edwards. Down low, here's Towns, and Towns throws it down.
And showing he can make plays for others. Edwards moving it with conviction.
Spurs trail by 8. 1:27 left in the first quarter. Primo, no good again that time. Minnesota's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. Up top, Edwards. Richardson covered. Towns against Collins. 6 to shoot. Shoots a fader. Towns, no luck.
Well, the defense didn't have any impact on that shot, but somehow he still misses it.
And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Anthony Edwards. That'll be his second foul of the game.
And that's his second foul committed with a lot of game left. Gotta be careful.
56 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Here's McDermott.
And you can see they are struggling from the field.
Once again off the mark by San Antonio. Edwards drives in, and Edwards with the stuff.
Excellent all-around performance so far, hence the big lead.
They got off to such a hot start, and that can keep you energized throughout the whole game.
Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over. Here's Richardson. So it's Richardson with the jam.
And one step ahead of the defense with that solid screen.
And then Greg, the monster dunk to finish it off.
Great chemistry on display. He understood where to put the screen in order to free up his teammate.
Here's Towns, and the dunk by Towns.
I like their focus coming in. Terrific execution so far.
Couldn't come up with a much better start than this. They just have to keep it going.
Here's Primo. He's guarded by Rivers. Edwards against Richardson. Collins setting the pick for Richardson. And the layup falls. Richardson's got his second basket of the night.
Got it in close. Unless it's an open three, that's the key to efficient offense.
It's been all about Karl Anthony Towns for Minnesota. He got into double digits for the quarter with 10 points total. Back to the action in just a minute. And hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far. Halfway through the first half in this one. Now let's take a moment to get your guys' take on the scoring so far for the Timberwolves. Sharing the wing spots, it's Vassell and Johnson. Then it's Jones. Then there's Jakob Poeltl. And it's Sohan in at the 4 slot. And that's who's in the game for the Spurs. Jones dishes to Poeltl. He gets it in there. Poeltl's got the opening field goal of the second quarter for San Antonio.
And Poeltl is so quick at moving to the hoop after the screen. Just awesome mobility rolling to the basket.
Russell kicks to Anderson. No good on the shot, a bit long that time. Spurs trail by 6. The Timberwolves secured a spot in the playoffs last season, Greg, and we enjoyed it after they got that emotional win in the play-in game in the Twin Cities over the Clippers. What a night.
And Kevin, you can tell it meant a lot to the players. This is a team that has struggled for so long And by getting to the playoffs, this is a step in the right direction.
Time now to turn to our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. David.
Thanks very much. Now, for 22 straight years, San Antonio made the playoffs. They haven't made the last 3 postseasons, and former Spur Robert Horry worries if they'll ever be relevant again, saying, I hate to say that. San Antonio is a small market. Guys just aren't going to go there. And that's a dire prediction for such a storied and successful franchise, Kevin.
Wow, no kidding, David. All right, thank you.
You just gotta love watching a big man hustle on the glass. This is what his team expects and needs from him.
And now in the final year of his contract, D'Angelo Russell is looking to get back to that all-star level and the promise that got him that last 4-year deal.
And he's got his first free throw of the game.
You really can't criticize the work he did at the line a year ago. 82% on the season.
And after a lackluster performance in last year's playoff, Russell has some making up to do.
Yeah, and the efficiency has been a problem. Now, if you're a player whose primary value is at the offensive end, you can't just be a volume scorer.
And no good that time. And San Antonio will go the other way with it. This game coming on the heels of their win against Chicago.
Yeah, and that one, their intensity on the offensive end was not matched by their opponent. That led to some easy buckets.
And on top of probably having the better talent, they never let up. Great effort, great win.
Shot clock at 3. Johnson can't get it to go.
A slight advantage for them in the rebound department, but that oftentimes is all it takes.
Just enough resistance to force the miss, barely. That's one he'll generally make.
Vassell, the pass to Jones, to the paint. Here's Pirtle, and that comes off the assist by Jones.
There's no stopping Pirtle when he has the ball in that spot, just abusing the defense down in the paint.
So the Timberwolves called their first timeout. Towns, he's checked in for the Timberwolves. Edwards comes in for Austin Rivers. So a moment now to see the story for Keldon Johnson. And here in the second quarter of action with a hair under 2.5 minutes played so far. Pass to Towns. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
And the #1 overall pick in 2015, Karl Anthony Towns has been the franchise player in Minnesota, but out to prove he can be the cornerstone on a contender.
Greg, in order for Towns to get the Wolves to where they want to go, and certainly where he wants to go, how does he take the next step?
For me, last season, an inconsistent playoff performance for Cat. He's got to make an imprint on the game, even when shots aren't falling.
Timberwolves leading by 8. Here's McDaniels. A rebound by Johnson.
I mean, that can happen to anyone, but it's ugly every time it does.
And you have to feel for him. That's the kind of miss that will stick with you for a little bit.
Vassell with it. Edwards there. Makes it off the glass.
They are attacking the rim and getting great results.
And it's Russell with the ball. He'll bring it up for the Timberwolves. They've led by as much as 10. And there's the pass to Towns. And the dunk by Towns.
And with that unique combination of size and skill, Towns can sure get himself going offensively.
Pass to Vassell. Over Russell. Rudy Gobert with the rebound. Gobert's got his 7th rebound here tonight.
Solid rebound there, and with the score like it is, that's an area where they can't afford to get lazy.
Edwards drives in. He can't get it to go. Spurs trail by 8. Johnson kicks to Jones. Passes it to Jang. The 3 from Johnson. A rebound by the Timberwolves. Gobert's got 8 rebounds in this game.
Just an ugly show for him offensively. Yep, no way to describe it, just ugly, and that hasn't helped.
Russell passes to Towns. Good, and the assist goes to Russell. Towns has got the lead up to 10 now for the Timberwolves.
And shooting-wise, he's been fantastic, helping to build this lead.
Richard, one of the greatest coaches in the history of pro basketball, a guy you played for, Greg Popovich, on March 11th, 2022, broke the all-time winningest mark for a head coach in the NBA.
And what's so special is all of those victories are coming with the Spurs. And look, I had an opportunity to apologize to Pop, because if it wasn't for me, he probably would have gotten here sooner.
I think he would say that's completely not true. But he had to be one of the great coaches you played for.
It was. My career got extended because of the things that I learned in San Antonio. If I wouldn't have had that experience with him and their coaching staff, I would never have played as long as I did.
And it's good, 2 points.
Agile move off the contact by Edwards, getting to his shot despite the difficult defense.
Here's Primo. Goes up and lays it nice and easy.
And they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing the ball into the paint.
And here's Russell. 11 points for him in that last game against the Lakers.
What a job he's done defensively, causing turnovers, just being a pain for the opposition.
23 seconds left to play here in the half. Here's Primo. He's guarded by Russell. Nice D from Russell. Edwards against Jang. And too much time in the lane. They get called for the 3-second violation.
Spurs ball. Substitution for your Spurs. Jakob Poeltl.
Here's Primo. McDermott for 3. And the last second attempt does not go in for him.
First half with the score.
Thanks, David. And we'll be back.
He's off to a great start. The buckets are coming fast.
And now, let's take a second here to look at what's ahead. Thank you for being with us. Now let's...
We played through the first half. Plenty of basketball, though, left in this one. Karl Anthony Towns has been sensational.
The way he was able to finish on the block was incredible there in that first half.
The question now is, will the defense keep letting him punish them inside? Or did Coach have some new ideas for that?
And on the floor for Chris Finch as we get into the second half. Sliding in at the wing, it'll be Edwards and McDaniel. Underneath in the post, Towns and Gobert. And it's Russell in at the point. And now here comes Jones leading the break and blocked. That one goes careening off the glass.
Rejected by Towns. I mean, he's become a great shot blocker.
And that's a block right there. He swats that ball away with some energy.
And boy, did he get up quick to reject that shot. That's as fundamental as defense gets.
Russell against Jones. Pass to Sohan. And in the last decade, defenses switching on screens has increased dramatically. Is this the new normal, you think?
Kevin, I think so. I think teams that switch well tend to defend well, because switching can create mismatches, but it's harder to punish those now with all the help defense.
6 on the shot clock. Edwards, that's good.
And so good off the bounce. Edwards working on his shot off the catch, and it is paying off.
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Hurdle finds Vassell. Steps back and shoots. And he gets it to go.
Got that one to go. Okay, now 1 for 4 to start the second half.
Russell dishes to Gobert. Now here's Edwards, covered by Vassell. The pass to McDaniels. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. Russell inside, working on Jones. And it's Towns missing.
Got a good look there, but just not able to hit from the mid-range.
Vassell, no good.
Just not much success when it comes to shooting.
Greg, Devin Vassell came in as a 3-and-D type player, but he's grown beyond that.
He has added secondary ways to contribute on offense. Still not a great shot creator, but can finish plays in a variety of ways to help his team.
Pass to Jones. Out left to the wing. And with that shot, the Minnesota Leafs cut to just 9 on the basket from Pirtle.
Astonishing body control by Pirtle. Just taking the hit head on and finishing through it all.
Minnesota calls timeout.
Spurs fans, no reason to gripe when we got the Spurs Hype Squad.
Minnesota making some changes. Kyle Anderson has checked in for Towns, and it's Rivers in for Russell. Just over 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second half. Outside Edwards. Back to Rivers. Now here's Edwards, guarded closely. McDaniels passes to Edwards. Driving the lane, and foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. And you look at Anthony Edwards, and GA, he is becoming the leader of this Timberwolves team, isn't he?
I think he is. I mean, partly it's his production with his numbers up across the board, but it's also his personality. He plays with tremendous swagger.
Outside, Jones passes to Roby. Now, here's Vassell. And they will get the basket here, folks, as they rule goaltending.
So close to getting the block there. You can live with those calls because you'd rather have a guy playing aggressive instead of playing it safe.
Rivers with it. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. To the wing on the left. Anderson finds Gobert. Right wing. Outside Edwards. Poked away. Johnson with it. Picked up by Edwards. Now Johnson. Pass to Primo. The pass to Collins. There's the dish to Richardson. Going inside. Gobert with the block.
And that's why you want Gobert on the floor. He's as good defensively as any big you will ever see. I mean, already hot coming into the game. Is it fair to say he's hotter?
Spurs trail by 10. Collins, a screen on Rivers. Primo, the pass to Collins. Richardson gets a wide open look. Offline with his three.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
Edwards against Richardson. And slam dunk by Gobert.
And no issues at the rim for Gobert. One of the league leaders in flushes. The Frenchman loves to finish above the rim.
Pass to Roby. Right on the bucket.
The chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
Minnesota leading by 10. 1:04 left to play in the third. Anderson outside. Dishes it to Edwards. Shot clock at 5. Drives to the hoop. And finished off by Edwards.
And once Edwards gets a step on you, it's likely going to be a bucket or a foul or both.
And that last look brought to you by the AT&T 5G Slam King. Collins setting the pick for Johnson. Shoots over McDaniel. A rebound by the Timberwolves. Now here's Rivers. He's still scoreless so far in this one. There's the drive. Gobert.
An improved free throw shooter compared to his earlier seasons. Nice to see Gobert attack his weakness.
The Timberwolves have shot 5 of 6 at the foul line tonight.
Yeah, a year ago, though, Kevin, 78% conversion rate from the free throw line. So that's a nice all-around effort.
They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Jones looking for an opening. And there's the drive. Missed inside. And so it's Minnesota, 13 points up at the end of the period. They have made it very tough to get a shot. And let's go back to a terrific pass that we're calling tonight our State Farm assist of the game.
Yeah, and I like the fact we get to see this pass one more time. A magnificent feed, and you love to see your off guard taking over the playmaking duties with this much skill.
Not just playing selflessly, but also making a smart decision with the ball.
And with the fourth quarter upon us, time is running out for this game to become competitive. And so it's Minnesota with it. This is the most they've led by, 13 points. Evan Vassell out there with Jones. Then there's Pirtle. Then it's Doug McDermott. And it's Sohan in a power forward. That's the San Antonio 5. And Towns gets it to go.
Just a great hustle play there. Energy and passion. This is what you play the game for.
Passes it to Pirtle. And the dunk by Pirtle.
And really, Pirtle is a very forceful player. When he's near the rim, that you better watch out for the slam.
Right side Russell. From outside the arc. And Jones pulls it down.
And they're up right now, but it hasn't been because of him. He's really struggled on offense.
And it's Rivers with the ball. He brings it up for Minnesota. It's a 13-point game. That'll be the second of this 2-game road trip. And there's the foul. It's on Towns. That is his first foul of the game.
First personal foul.
Just over a minute played here in the fourth. Jones kicks to McDermott. Off target with his 3.
And even with good coverage defensively that time, he has confidence to drill the 3.
And the basket is good.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain that.
Pass to Sohan. Just over a minute and a half played here in the fourth. Again, the miss by the Spurs. Timberwolves leading by 15. And here's Russell. Outside, Towns. And it's off from three-point range. Spurs have gone 1 of 4 since the end of the third quarter. Russell against Jones. And it's sent back by Russell. Rivers finds Russell. Richard, you were part of a Cavs team that came back from 3 games to 1 down in the NBA Finals to win the title. Remarkable. Just how hard was that to do?
Well, let me say this. I think it was the greatest championship ever. And I'm not being biased. Those are the facts. They were the defending champion. They had the 2-time MVP. They won 73 wins that year. So for me, that was the most special comeback because we played in the greatest championship of all time.
I'm assuming there was no doubt in your mind at all you would come back, correct?
That's a lie. There was tons of doubt in my mind, but I will say this. When you have a group of guys that stay together when you're down 3-1, it's because you believe in each other and we believed in ourselves.
And now, a moment moment to present the New Balance Player of the Game, Karl Anthony Towns.
And when a player scores over half his team's points, you know he's going to be our pick. Even when he's been the exclusive focus of the defense, they just haven't been able to keep him in check. A tremendous individual effort.
Well, to come in here facing a hostile crowd and have a game like he's had, that's what separates the good players from the great players. Pirtle dishes to Johnson. Drops it in from 14 feet away.
This is a shot he works on. Johnson striving to be consistent from all three levels.
Fourth quarter keeps moving right along. 3 minutes gone so far. Towns, the pass to McDaniels. A three-pointer off the mark. Spurs trail by 16. Johnson outside. And the pass to Jones. Pass to Vassell. Here's Johnson. Takes it inside. The Spurs need to get a shot off here. That three off target. Had some space there after the little pump fake. Russell kicks to Edwards. Back to Russell. Towns, the pass to Edwards. Towns with it. Fires the three. Offensive rebound. Out to Russell. Lets it go with the three. Hits the three-point bomb. And the Timberwolves lead by 19.
And perimeter scoring, I have to imagine it was a topic of discussion at halftime.
And you see this so much more nowadays in the NBA. Teams putting a larger emphasis on jacking up threes.
Outside, Jones. Over Russell. Jones, no luck.
And the well is running dry for him right now. Nothing falling.
Yeah, and the risk now is that he gets inside his own head. Time to take deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth, and let the game come to you.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for the Timberwolves.
As one-sided as it gets today, you know, there were some dominant moments in about every facet of this game for that team.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin, it's hard to think of what didn't go right for them. Game planning by the coaches, execution by the players, everything was just on target.
And it'll mark their fourth win on the year, actually their fifth win on the year.
And they put themselves into the driver's seat in regards to the season series with this team. Tonight's win will give them a 2-1 edge with only one left to play.
And what a tremendous standout performance it was for Karl Anthony Towns.
He came up with a bucket every time they needed him to. Great effort on offense, and he was a difference maker.
That one goes in.
Yeah, coach's pet peeve there. No box out.
Yeah, you think you got to stop, and it's wasted because of sloppy work on the glass. You literally practice that every day.
Towns sets the pick for Edwards. Towns down low. And goaltending is going to be the call, so they get the basket there anyway.
That's a very close call. I'm sure he thinks it's a clean block, but looks like it was on the way down. Listen to the reaction of the fans after that call.
Pass to Jang. The shot. And off target as he starts the game 0 for 1. And so it's the Timberwolves taking care of business here. To come into an opponent's building and dominate the way they did tonight says, I think, Greg, an awful lot about this team.
I guess they don't need home cooking to feel at home. I mean, Kevin, just a masterful performance all the way around.
And now let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline for our player of the game. David, take it away.
Thank you, Kevin. With Karl Anthony Towns, you look so calm on the block. What has that focus been like for you?
Just being patient, waiting for my shot to come, not really forcing anything, but also being aggressive.
And you do both very well. Thanks, Kat. Back to you, Kevin.
David, thank you as always. And that about wraps it up. This is Kevin Harlan saying thank you for tuning in. See you next time.